By now, you've probably heard of Meta's new Andromeda update. Now, this is not exactly new. We've been getting hints about this since 2024, and they first announced this in March of 2025. In today's video, I'm gonna break down exactly what this update is and how to work with it. I'm gonna share some of the patterns and recommendations that I've been seeing and share what's been working for me. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, you guys, so we're gonna check out Meta's announcement from March of 2025, where they explain exactly what the changes to the algorithm are. So check this out. It says AI innovations in Meta's ad ranking driving advertiser performance. So here, the first change that they made was Meta's GEM, the super brain. It says generative ad recommendation models, GEM, is a powerful new machine learning model trained on thousands of GPUs to optimize results for ad products, delivering an improvement in ad performance. GEM enables the ad system to rapidly process large amounts of data to deliver highly relevant and personalized ads, and has enabled a paradigm shift for recommender systems. We recently rolled out GEM more broadly in our ad systems following the success in improved ad conversion results in Meta Reels earlier this year. Okay, so you can see they had been actually kind of testing this for a long time, probably in 2024. It says, said differently, imagine having a super brain that can read an entire library of books in seconds, understand the relationship between all the characters, remember every single detail, and connect the details into an understanding of the sequence of events a person goes through across all types of activities. That's what GEM does for Meta's ad systems. Catalogs, analyze, and connects trillions of pieces of information, making it incredibly intelligent and effective. With GEM, Meta's recommendation system learns from an enormous amount of data, recognizes subtle patterns, and provides the most relevant ads to the right person at the right time with low latency. That's super interesting. Okay, so basically they've upgraded their ads system to get the ads in front of more relevant people. Next, the second update, Meta Lattice, the giant library. This says, Meta Lattice is our ad ranking architecture that allows us to generalize learnings across campaign objectives and surfaces in place of numerous smaller ad models that have historically been optimized for individual objectives and surfaces. This is not only leading to an increased efficiency as we operate fewer models, but also improving ad performance. These significantly larger models are able to learn more because they can represent steps that people take in their purchase journey across surfaces and campaigns. When they say surfaces, I think they mean like the phone, tablet, computer. It says here, said differently, think of Meta Lattice as one giant library. In the past, we had many small libraries, each dedicated to a specific subject like history or art. Each library had its own set of books and librarians who were experts in that one subject. Now with Meta Lattice, it's like we've combined all the small libraries into one, connecting information from all subjects. It doesn't just have more books. The expert librarians can also learn from all the books it has and apply that knowledge to different subjects. This is much more efficient because we only maintain one library, and it can help people find better information faster, no matter what they're looking for. In the world of ads, this means we can use one powerful system to improve how ads are shown to people, making them more relevant and effective, rather than relying on smaller systems that each focuses on one type of ad product or placement destination. So if you've seen, like, they've been slowly pulling away interest targeting, right? They've been combining interests. They've been taking away different targeting options and pushing us to go to broad, right? So I think this is kind of a result of that, right? They are trying to just consolidate everything into one model. It's so smart that it's going to show the ad to the right person at the right time without us having to do all that manual kind of hacky media buying that we used to do, say, 5 years ago. So next, Meta Andromeda. So this is the true Andromeda update, okay? The personal concierge. Meta Andromeda is an innovative end-to-end hardware, software, machine learning co-design system introduced in 2024 with Meta Training and Inference Accelerator and NVIDIA Grace Hopper Superchip. This more efficient system enables 10,000 times increase in the complexity of models used for ads retrieval, the first step in the ranking process where we narrow down a pool of tens of millions of ads to the few thousands we consider showing someone. The increase in model complexity enables running far more sophisticated prediction models to better personalize ads. And as a business, upload more and more creatives to support a diversification strategy. Meta Andromeda works behind the scenes to power more complex models that allows Meta to pick the right creative to deliver more personalized ads that are relevant and interesting. Said differently, imagine having a personal concierge who knows your taste so well that they don't just understand that you covet shoes, but that you like to wear red flip-flops at the beach. Meta Andromeda learns your preferences so Meta can show you ads that are more relevant and interesting. I'm going to link this one to the bottom because this is very, very interesting. I'm going to link this in the description of the video so you can read this. So that's super interesting, right, guys? It's basically saying the model has just gotten way more sophisticated, both from a hardware, software, and machine learning perspective, and it's going to be able to pick that pool of initial people that the ad optimizes towards, and those people are going to be more relevant. And then it's going to drill down and find the right people faster. That's the theory, right? They haven't been working that well to start, but I think over time this is going to get smarter and smarter and smarter and more efficient. So that's something to look out for. And then the last one here, it says sequence learning, the memory game. Sequence learning is an AI modeling technique that enables our ad systems to consider the sequence of actions a person takes before and after seeing an ad. This allows a deeper understanding of the purchase journeys people take, allowing us to deliver more personalized and relevant ads at the right time. Sequence model learning techniques do this by more deeply understanding patterns around a conversion to better infer sequence of ads or for optimizing future conversions for a purchase. So I'm going to click this one too. It says, said differently, for example, previously with traditional aggregate data models, if a user converted on one ski resort ad, they may continue to see other ski resort ads. With recent changes to our ads learning model, after purchasing a ski resort room, a person would now see ads for ski equipment, lift tickets, or ski luggage, providing more relevant ad personalization to the purchase journey. I think that ski example is just super clear. It makes a lot of sense, right? If you buy ski resort tickets, well, next you're going to get lodging, ski gear, and stuff like that. So it's not just going to keep recommending you more and more ski resort tickets. So that is super interesting. But these are the main 4 updates to the algorithms that we've seen throughout 2025. All right, guys, so let's talk about more practically, like what does this mean for advertisers today? What am I seeing across the board with this Andromeda update? Because I've been advertising this whole year, all of last year, the year before, so I've been able to watch how the algorithm is behaving differently now than it used to be. So first, let's talk about trusting the algorithm, okay? Do we trust the algorithm? Now, for me, there's like 2 different camps, right? There's people all the way on the left side that are like, trust the algorithm 100%. You're not smarter than the algorithm. Just give it what it wants and it's gonna find the best thing for you. And then there's other people on the far other end of the spectrum that are like, don't trust the algorithm at all, only do bid caps, cost caps, manual test everything, 1 ad per ad set, minimum spends, like they don't trust the algorithm at all. I personally am somewhere in the middle, okay? I trust the algorithm to a degree, but I do my best to kind of guide it in the right direction. And, you know, if I give power to the algorithm, like for example, just doing completely broad, throwing a bunch of ads, and I see that it's not giving me the right results or directing spend to the right thing, well, then I take away some of that power and I start, putting more guardrails on the algorithm. So in general, I trust, but I verify with the algorithm, I guess you could say. I try to guide the algorithm as much as I can. Because remember, guys, what does Meta care about, right? Meta cares about daily active users on their systems, on Meta, on Facebook, on Instagram, WhatsApp, stuff like that, Threads. So that's their primary concern. So as long as people are getting a good experience on those platforms, the advertisers will always be there. Advertisers truly feel like a secondary thought, even though we drive most of their revenue. So what's important to note is, second, Meta's systems are designed to extract as much money from us, the advertisers, as humanly possible. It's not necessarily to make us profitable or to help us grow our business or anything like that. Yes, of course, they're sort of incentivized to give us good results, but it's not like a democracy. It's not like everybody gets a fair chance. Really, it's whoever spends the most, gives people a good experience on the platform, and follows the rules. Even that's kind of gray area, wins. Okay, so to give you a good example, right? If we were to just follow every recommendation that Meta gives, like inside the opportunity score, what I find is that actually kills our results. It gives us terrible results when we just blindly follow what Meta says. And I'm sure you've seen, like, for example, the high performing badge that shows up on some campaigns sometimes with campaigns that are doing terribly. Well, yeah, you want me to scale my terrible results? Beautiful, thank you, Meta. Right? So there's a ton of examples like this, but my point is you cannot just blindly trust Meta. Obviously, there's some people that do, but I think that's a huge mistake. You need to watch every dollar and cent that goes through the system and make sure that it's being spent effectively, and make sure that you're meeting your business goals, not Meta's. Right? Meta makes enough money, in my opinion. We need to be the ones that make the money, right? If we're playing this game. So that's my thoughts on trusting the algorithm, right? So now let's talk about how I practically do that. Like when it comes to testing, I personally think the one CBO strategy is kind of dumb. I have a whole video about it here. And that truly is like just trusting the algorithm completely. You just do one CBO, you do a bunch of different ad sets in there for each new group of ads, and you just let the algorithm figure out what works and what doesn't. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I don't like that. You can watch that video if you want to know my reasons. But it can work for larger ad accounts that are getting a lot of conversion data, but for most people, it's not a good strategy. Now, how do I test? Well, I also have a video here where I explain exactly how I test, and this is still how I'm testing today, October 2025. It still works quite well, and it's kind of somewhere in the middle where I'm trusting the algorithm to a degree, but not giving it full reign, okay? So what does that mean? I tend to do single ad set CBOs, right? So one campaign, one ad set, and then 3 to 5 ads. And or I will do an ABO campaign, which is like a testing campaign, and each new ad set will have 3 to 5 ads, and that's kind of the testing strategy that I do. If the results, for example, if the results aren't that good, like Meta is directing spend to the wrong ad or an ad that's giving poor results, and the average results of the ad set are poor, I will then step in and optimize by turning off the ad that's taking spend and giving poor results, right? That's a very common practice, and a lot of times that can actually improve results. Doesn't always. Okay, sometimes you can just break the whole thing, which happens, but a lot of times you can actually improve results doing that. So that's an example of like, I'm trusting the algorithm to a degree because I'm putting like 5 ads inside. I'm allowing Meta to say, pick the winner within these 5 ads. But like I said, it's not always right. You know, there's people that say, oh, the breakdown effect, Meta's always right, but it's bullshit. I mean, honestly, I see it so many times where Meta will direct spend to an ad that gives me terrible results. I turn it off, it starts redistributing the budget to the rest of the ads, and the results improved. That's called optimization. That's something we've been doing for years. It still works. So be very careful with that. Another thing that people say is, if an ad doesn't get spend, that means it's a bad ad. Meta's algorithm knows it's a bad ad. That couldn't be further from the truth. I see all the time where things that don't get spend in one ad set, we can duplicate them into a separate ad set, force them to get spend, and it actually works. And it might even outperform the other thing that was taking spend. So that happens all the time. Okay, so now let's talk about the different behaviors that I'm seeing inside of an ad set, right? So let's say you have one ad set, 3 to 5 ads. Well, sometimes one ad will take 90% of the spend and the rest won't get any spend. So we call that like a dominant ad, right? That can be like a double-edged sword. That can be amazing if the dominant ad is giving you good ROAS, but it can be terrible if the dominant ad is giving you terrible ROAS, the average results are poor, and the other ads didn't get any spend, right? So it's kind of tricky. If that happens, you have to do some optimization at the ad level and potentially turn off something that's taking spend and not giving you good results. Something that's super important to note is the average results of the ad set. Let's say the top spender is taking a lot of spend, giving you poor results, but the bottom 4 ads are giving you some decent or high ROAS. Well, it could be that the top ad is acting kind of like a top of funnel, and then the other ads are acting as like a retargeting, kind of like that full funnel approach. And if the average results are okay or good, there's an argument to just leave it alone, right? Don't mess with it. But if the average results are poor, then you need to step in and do something about it. Otherwise, I mean, you just have something that's losing you money. So pretty logical, pretty obvious, but some people argue against that. They say you should never turn off the top spending ad. That's the best ad no matter what. Meta's always right. Bullshit. Okay, so that's the first behavior that I see. Now, the second behavior that I see is where all the ads get about equal spend inside the ad set. And that can be equally tricky because maybe each ad doesn't get enough to get that conversion. So that could be really tricky as well. And same thing, we really need to focus on the average results of the ad set, okay? The last behavior that I'm seeing right now that is kind of annoying is cannibalization of results. And what do I mean by that? So let's say you have a campaign that's consistently bringing you 10 results every day, 10 purchases a day, or 10 leads a day, and you're spending $100. Well, if you say create a new campaign and you spend another $100, sometimes you'll start getting, instead of 10 results here and 10 results there, you'll start getting 5 and 5, right? So you're still getting 10 results a day. You're spending $200 now instead of $100. And it's almost like the two campaigns are competing against each other. This is something that I'm seeing consistently now. It's always kind of happened, but I feel like now with the Andromeda update, it's happening more and more. So how do we combat this? How do we get this to not happen? Well, that leads to the next point, which is something that Meta recommends, which is creative diversity. So what is creative diversity? Creative diversity means different creative formats, right? So statics, videos, carousels, even within videos, maybe you have like UGC, founder videos, polished videos, raw videos. So just different styles, right? Within statics, maybe you have, us versus them, a benefits focus one, problem solution, right? Just really, really varying up the angles, the headlines, the format. Just having a very diverse set of creative can help because you end up targeting different pockets of people. Okay, we've talked about pockets and hot pockets a lot on this channel. That's still very much a thing. So ways to beat this cannibalization or self-competition is to have different creative formats. Another thing is targeting completely different angles, right? So for example, in my case, I have a school group where maybe one of my angles is fire your ad agency, you can learn how to run meta ads yourself. That's one angle. But another angle could be have a meta ads expert in your corner 24/7. That's a completely different angle. Maybe these are two different personas, two different customer profiles, but they both are buying. But if we target both, then each one is a different pocket of people, and maybe they won't compete with each other. So that's another way to break through it. Another way is to use cost caps and bid caps. Sometimes that can avoid manual bidding. That can help you avoid that cannibalization. Another thing is scaling into different languages. If you scale different languages, you're most likely going to hit different people, and you'll avoid that self-competition. Targeting different countries is another way to do it, to avoid this self-competition. You can have the same ad here and then launch the same exact ad in a different country, and obviously you're not going to be competing with yourself in that case because it's just different people. Yeah, so look out for that self-competition. I feel like that's happening a lot more lately. But guys, if you have been watching my videos on my channel, if you've been looking at my case studies and stuff, I'm really still running the same playbook. I've been testing new features here and there. Oh, another thing. Meta talks a lot about mixing creative formats inside of an ad set, right? They say you should mix videos with statics and carousels and catalogs all in one, and you're gonna get the best results. Now, I think that could be true if you had all winners, like things that have been proven, they work. But what I've found is when you're testing new things, it's not the best to mix them all together. because Meta's algorithm will prioritize spend towards certain formats like Reels, catalogs, stuff like that, over static images, for example. So it's important that you separate those things out. So statics with statics, videos with videos, carousels with carousels, catalogs alone, because otherwise it's not really an apples to apples comparison. It's not fair to the statics compared to the videos because Meta's algorithm favors the videos. So it's like they're not going to get a fair shake. So I always separate things out when I'm testing, but when I have winners and I know these things work, you can put them all together, and I think it does work. I don't see a massive improvement in performance from mixing the different creative formats in one, but that seems to be what Meta is recommending and what it wants. So I'm trying to give it what it wants, you know, when it makes sense. So I know that was kind of like a long, like fluid, you know, stream of consciousness type of video, but this is what I'm seeing in the algorithm right now. This is what I'm seeing being in the arena every day, running ads, interacting with this system. The last thing that I want to say is creative is the new targeting. And that it's just so obvious, so clear the way that the algorithm is working. I think of it like an AI tool, just like Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini. You're prompting an AI. So if you can give super clear and specific guidance to the machine as to who you're trying to target, so that means long form copy, very clear ads, very specific ads, you will have better results. It will get in front of more people that you're trying to target. So I can't stress enough how important copywriting is in today's day and age, and clear writing. That is so underrated right now. Just being able to write in a clear and concise way, in a persuasive and compelling way, is so effective right now. So this goes to your scripts that you make in your videos, your primary text, your landing page copy, everything. I mean, these things have always been around, right? We've been studying this for years, but it's more powerful now than ever to have clear writing, good copywriting principles, persuasive, compelling ad copy. So focus on that, focus on the creative. You can still play around with the different settings, placements, audiences, and stuff like that if you need to. But if broad is working, just focus 100% on the creatives, offers, angles, and headlines, hooks. I mean, this is what really drives the performance improvement. This is what moves the needle. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll leave it at that. If you want to dive deeper, I will see you inside of my school group. Thank you. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, please send it to somebody that you think would benefit from it. Give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more. I'm putting out new videos every single week. If you're looking to join a community of high-level advertisers where we are discussing the absolute latest of what's working in Meta Ads, then you need to join Meta Ads Mastery. The group is growing super fast. We have a ton of super experienced advertisers, e-commerce owners, agency owners, affiliate marketers, school group owners, creative strategists, media buyers, you name it, they're in the group and they're discussing what's working and what's not at scale. So if you are looking to join a community like that and you want to get one-on-one access to me to help you through all your problems, I can help save you time, money, and headaches. So definitely check it out. We have a 7-day free trial and a 1-year money-back guarantee. So it is an absolute no-brainer to join the group. The group is only $99 a month, and the value that you get inside is insane, guys. You don't have to take my word for it. You can try it completely free, and I will see you on the inside. Thank you so much. Take care.